Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome in to this GLP Real Talk Live episode number 2. Welcome in. We we're all glad to see y'all as we discuss GLP-1 medications like Ozempic and Wegovy, Zepbound, and Mounjaro. So, just to name a few. Tonight we're talking about real experiences with GLP-1 weight loss medications. So come on in and join us as we talk here. Of course, tonight's discussion is about personal experiences. We're not doctors here, so this is not medical advice. This is just our personal experiences we're sharing. So make sure to keep that in mind. All right. And as we go through tonight, please make sure to remember to hit the like button. And of course, uh, subscribe to each of our channels as you see fit. We got several represented here as we'll go through here in a minute. But yes, please like this live. All right. Well, without further ado, Kendi K, would you like to start our introductions out? And you are muted.
Sure. My name is Kendi K all day, and I am taking Zepbound, and I am new to my weight loss journey using Zepbound. I'm on week 3 and still on the starter dose, which is 2.5.
Yes. Awesome. Well, welcome in, Kendi K, and thank you for getting us started on this and helping us continue this series. All right, Vicky's World, would you want to introduce yourself?
I am Vicky's World, and I am on Manjaro. I've been on Manjaro for 7 weeks, and I started my weight loss journey because I am diabetic, and I'm just trying to find something that'll help control my blood sugars and help me lose weight.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, it's great to have you here again, Vicky. We appreciate your contribution here. All right, Low Carb Queen, you're up.
Hello. I am on Mounjaro 12.5, and this is actually, I took my injection yesterday, so that's injection 59 for me. And I'm down between 80 and 90 pounds, half of that with the medication and half without.
Excellent. Thank you. And then we have a new one this week, Miss DeBossway, aka Harjarine. Will you introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. I'm the Boss Way, aka Harjarine Annette. I am on Zepbound for my sleep apnea, but it's also helped me lose weight. I've been on the journey for 61. Well, tomorrow will be my 61st injection, and then I've lost a total of. Let me come back to you at that, because I don't remember anymore. But I'll come back to you on that. But I'm glad to be here.
Absolutely. Well, we're glad to have you. Definitely. Well, as we continue here, we definitely want to welcome everyone in that's come in. We got Miss Sandra James here. Thank you for coming. Mr. Darian, I appreciate you coming in this evening to help support us. There's Miss Felicia Marie B, FMB. Thank you for being here. All these creators supporting us tonight. And there's Miss Gemini Diva. She is also part of our panel in the second segment here shortly. So she'll be helping to monitor the chat and answer any questions we can't get to up here. As well as Miss Lala is in here. Yes, there she is. So she'll be glad to answer any questions as well. Thank you for coming, Nancy Germain. Thank you for being here tonight. And I believe I got everybody. Oh, there's Auntie Mama, another content creator. Thank you for coming to support us tonight. Thank you so much. Oh, and Round Mountain Zepbound, another GLP-1 user for sure, one of the OGs. So we or the goat, as Mr. Paul on Wheels would say. So thank you for coming to help support us. And here's another one of our panelists that will be on the second round, the Duchess of Shawnee. Thank you for being here. We appreciate your support. All right. Well, as we go on forward here, if there's something kind of fun to do as we go around here, go around with our questions. If you are actually taking a GLP-1, why don't you drop that little syringe emoticon, whatever you call it? It should be displayed there for you in the chat. And if you're just thinking about, just drop that little thinking emoticon there. Just kind of so we know what kind of audience we have with us tonight to see who's thinking about it or who's already on it. And you could even tell us your dosage or whatever as you chat in the chat there. All right. Let's see. I think we're about ready to start our first question. I think, did we lose? There we go. I believe we got Vicky back there. We'll go ahead and do our first question here. All right. So, low carb queen, what surprised you most during your first month of GLP-1, if you can remember back that far?
Definitely what surprised me most was the constipation. The constipation is definitely was not prepared, did not expect it, heard about it, read up on some of the side effects, but did not expect that. And it took me a couple of months to get a handle on it for real.
Yeah, I was right there with you. I understand. That was a surprising one for sure. Well, what about you, Harjering? What was the most surprising thing your first month?
How fast I lost 20 pounds. I lost 20 pounds in the first month. So that was, I may be over, I may not be 20, I might have been 9, y'all. It's been so long ago, but it's in my mind, I'm saying between 9 and 20 pounds is what I lost. But I lost a lot of pounds that first month.
Wow. Well, that's excellent. Excellent. All right. Well, what about you, Vicky?
One of the things that surprised me the most, I think, was the lack of. I had a lot of people had a lot of side effects, and I didn't have all those side effects. The only thing I had was a couple like leg cramps and stuff like that, but I didn't have the constipation or any of that stuff.
Wow, that everybody definitely is different. So that's something not to have any of that. Awesome. Awesome. Well, what about you, Kendi K? You definitely should remember.
I'm going to go with to Harjarine's point, just the rapid loss of weight. In my first 2 weeks, I was 9.5 pounds down at the end of week 2 and just took my third shot this past Friday. So normally I had already been working with a registered dietitian before Zepbound, and I was losing and regaining the same 10 pounds for probably at least 6 or 7 months. I mean, but to see those pounds go down, and I'm a person that weighs every day, to see those pounds go down every day and not to have gained not one of them back I'm just in complete and utter amazement and just gratitude for GLP-1s in general, and especially my Zepbound.
Absolutely. I think we all agree. We're so thankful for what it does for all of us. And again, we all have different things it's helped us with. Me and our dream sleep apnea. It's amazing that how good it just completely cured mine. I don't even have to use a CPAP anymore. But what really surprised me my first month would be the constipation, like Who was saying that? I just blanked out. Low Carb Queen, I believe. And
Mhm.
I just couldn't believe how bad that was. It got me on fiber and Metamucil pretty quick. I tell you, but it's kind of really leveled itself out now, for sure. Well, I wanted to mention one thing before we go to another question here. Nancy Germain up to 7.5 milligrams. Been almost 1 year, 102 pounds down. Congratulations to you.
Yes.
100 more to go. Okay. It's slowing down, and that's okay. We just keep going. Yes.
Mhm.
One day at a time. Yeah. And everybody's different. Everybody, as Mayor Mandy says, everybody is different, and everybody is different. So keep trudging on for sure. All right.
I checked my calendar and I did lose 20 pounds the first month.
Wow.
Yep.
Awesome. My app kind of tracked, but I was bad and didn't start tracking right off the bat. So I have a little skewed data, but thankfully 75 pounds down. All right. Question number 2, and I'll go ahead and display it here so y'all can see it very visually. What's something people don't understand about GLP-1 medications? Go ahead and start us off there, Hardring.
Well, one thing is that you have to work with the medication. The medication does not work alone. You have to work with it. So you have to think about your diet. You have to think about your exercise routine. Um, when is a good day for you to take your medication? All that plays into hand on being successful.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What about you, Kim?
I think one of the things people don't understand about the medication is that they think it's a shot that's just doing the job for you. Because I kind of thought that myself. I'm gonna be brave and stick myself with a needle, and I'm gonna lose weight. But it's definitely not that. So, Sandra, I think she put a question in there like, why does it cause constipation? Because it slows down that digestive system. And so, but you still have to, as everyone has said, do some work. You still have to exercise. You still have to eat right. And so I think that's when people say, oh, we're using it as a crutch, or, we're taking the easy way out, is definitely not the easy way out.
No, it definitely still takes work. Very good point. Very good point. What about you, Kendi K?
Well, being just that this is just my third week using Zepbound, literally just the start of my third week on Zepbound, there is still so much that I really don't understand. I am so grateful to the GLP-1 community, everyone on this panel, and I see some of my other favorite channels who are also in the chat, and the community has been so helpful. But I would lean into the part about, because I am seeing the results, the weight loss so quickly, it is making me want to work out more, want to park the car farther away from the door so that I can get more steps in and walk, and because y'all have talked so much about the shot is going to help to quiet the food noise. But then my part, as part of just overhauling my health and wellness journey, is that I've got to get moving and keep my body strong to build muscle while I'm losing the fat.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And I don't know about you, but it seemed like the more I lost, the more motivated I got. Like,
Yeah.
man, I need to do more to keep going. So
I'm
that's all.
so super motivated at this moment, Grant. I am completely super motivated.
Absolutely. Great. What about you, Vicky?
I'm sorry, my system is really slow and it keeps kicking me out. So I'm gonna drop down the chat if
Okay.
that's okay with everybody. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right. You do what you got to do there. Sometimes technology don't like us. So I understand. I understand. All right. Well, let me see what we got here. I have another good question. What is something nobody warned you about before starting your GLP-1? Something nobody warned you about. Go ahead, Kim.
Oh boy, I was like, oh, I hope he doesn't start with me. Something nobody warned me about. Hmm. I think the fatigue, like when you talk about the side effects, because that was supposed to rub off, like, like disappear allegedly, like later on, like after a few weeks, but I still suffer with that fatigue when I take that injection tremendously. So nobody told me about the severity of the fatigue. You know what I mean? I've heard people say it, but it's a real thing. I don't know if anybody else on the panel suffers from that, or anybody in the chat, if they still have, fatigue and they've been on it for a long time.
I still have fatigue. I really didn't know if it was coming from. I didn't know if it's coming from the Zepbound or not, but I do. I do have fatigue.
I'm on Zepbound too, and I definitely have fatigue, and I wasn't prepared for that. I don't think I remembered as part of the reading and just listening to other folks on YouTube as they talk about their use of GLP-1s. But the fatigue is real, yeah,
Mhm.
and then I also learned though that even though I'm feeling tired and perhaps the medication is contributing to that, that again, I'm just super motivated to get up and get moving.
That's good.
Right. Well, I never have experienced fatigue with mine. It's interesting.
Ah,
You know, if anything else, I feel more wired sometimes, and I can't get to sleep, and that kind of makes me tired. But I, I probably need to adjust my workout time because the longer I go, it seems like I like to do it late, but that kind of wires me up sometimes. So I'm
Mm.
gonna probably have to adjust that a little bit. Um, well, how about you, Hardraine?
Um, itching, itching at the injection site. No one told me about. But nobody was talking about it. I think the first person I heard mention it was either Kim J or Grace. One of them was the one who mentioned it. But at the injection site, you get an itch. Like the next day, you like what is the heck? It itches really bad. So no one, I didn't know about that and read that you would have an itching reaction or anything like that with it. But I still get it today. I still get it
So itching around the injection site or all
around the
over?
injection site.
Okay. Huh.
Injection site. I also in the beginning I broke out with the rash. Uh, that was itching, just itching, And she gave me a cream for that. So I don't know if that was from the Zepbound or not, but it happened when I started with the Zepbound.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I have heard others say about, getting irritation there, but that's something else I've been fortunate never to have. Wow.
Yep.
What about you, Candy K?
so itching, I maybe have had itching like I feel like I've been itchy since taking this shot, but not
Mm-hmm.
at the injection site. So I'm glad we're talking about this. Is
Yep.
that a thing to be itching like on other parts of your body, not near the injection site?
Right.
Because I
That's
feel
what
like
happened
my
to me.
skin has been itchy and
Mm-hmm.
I like thought about it a couple of different times. Is this related to Zepbound? And then you talked about the injection. So I kind of want to I've been doing mine on either side of my belly button.
Mm-hmm.
in my stomach. I want to know where everyone else is giving their shot, what part of the body, if you don't mind, if we could talk a little bit about that.
I always give mine in the belly, opposite sides, like you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
I always do mine in the stomach too.
I do mine in the thigh. I switch sometimes, between stomach and thigh, but I find that I get my greatest suppression in my thigh. Yes. So
Oh wow. Okay.
Now, Candy K, like I said, when I first started the Zepbound, my rash was all over my body. I mean, it's like a bump or something would appear, and I'm like, okay, when I get bit, you know what I mean? You scratching, but it was everywhere. And she had to give me a cream. She gave me a cream, and it went away.
Wow. So you might have
Mm-hmm.
had a little bit of an allergic reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's something. Yeah, I've tried my thigh before, but it seems like
Hurts.
it just does. Well, it does hurt, and the arm really hurts. But it doesn't go in as well in my thigh. I had more bubble up there,
Oh,
so
okay.
I think it just depends on where you got more fat to get into. But so I definitely got plenty in the gut.
I almost
But
jumped out my seat trying to put it in my thigh.
Me too. I got a lot of fat. They said the fattiest parts of your body is where you should be injecting, and so certainly my gut
My gut.
is
yeah.
my biggest part of my body. Yeah.
But I've mentioned this in the past, but it seems like more now than I used to actually bleed, even on the gut. So some say it's because the fats went down. It's still there, but it's not as
Mm-hmm.
much anymore. And so you have more likelihood of hitting a little vessel or whatever. So
Okay.
very interesting. All right. Well, I am continuing to kind of watch the chat for any questions. I did see an interesting comment here from Sandra. Yes, with fatigue, it is essential to continue to move because it's easy to lay down in fatigue. At the same time, it is important to learn the balance to when to rest and when to push through. And this is from somebody that has a different perspective on this, but it's very much the same too. So very, very true. I saw one from Felicia Marie Reed says, I get a weird feeling on parts of my body like it feels like I have a sunburn.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Also, I'm only a belly injector. Arms and thighs feel like I injected water. Okay.
Mm.
Interesting.
Yep.
Uh, all right. Well, everybody, don't forget to hit the like. We appreciate y'all continue to be a part of this. We got 20 of us here now, so thank you for being here.
Grant,
Yes.
I'm noticing a question. Actually, it's a comment in the chat, and it's coming from Life of Vivi. I
Okay.
hope I'm saying that right. They say, I find when my med is not as cold, I don't feel any pain. Now, I did not let my shot come to room temperature on week 1, and I thought that first shot was so painful.
Mm.
Hmm.
And I was like, I've got to tell my GLP-1 friends, and y'all are sitting on the panel with me, so this is great.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've got to tell them. They did not tell me this was going to be so painful. In fact, they told
Mm-hmm.
me it wasn't going to hurt at all. And it was because I just took it straight from the fridge and put it in my belly. And so I let the other one just kind of sit out and
Mm-hmm.
get to room temp, and it was no pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, we didn't tell you that. Sorry.
One of those things I guess we just assumed and everybody would know, but
Yeah.
yeah, there are some that still don't let it sit out and they say they're just fine, but more times than not, if you let it warm up, you don't feel a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So good point to bring up there, Kendi and Vivi. Thank you. All right.
Yeah, Life of BB says I let my pen sit out for at least 30 minutes
Yeah.
before injecting.
yeah,
Okay.
I do too. Yeah, I let mine sit out.
Yeah, I believe the shelf life on those, if I remember right, even if you leave it out, it's good for up to 21 days outside the fridge. Is that right? So, I mean, it's not like you got a chance of it going bad if you leave it out too long that day. So, all right. Okay, I got a kind of a short answer. I'm going to ask a few of these, and y'all just answer as you want here. Do y'all do morning or evening shots?
Morning.
Evening.
Evening for me.
And morning for me. And this came up maybe on last week's episode sometime about, or no, it might be on another live, Candy K, is us talking about, whether you eat first or not.
Hmm.
And, I never do. And I think several in that live didn't either. But you said you do. Why is that?
Because I tend to have a sensitive belly anyway. And because I'm 50 and I don't want to be nauseous and I don't want indigestion, I don't want anything. So I don't know. And I think again, the GLP-1 community in these YouTube streets, and I'm so happy to be on this panel with so many of y'all who have been on this weight loss journey using your GLP-1. So I'm so grateful to have you as community. But yeah, it's just I didn't want to be sick. And
Sure.
I feel like some of y'all shared that you do take it on an empty stomach, but then just as many, I think, said that they are, they make sure they have something in their belly when they take their new dose. And so my first dose was really rough on me. And I think it was just, a reaction to a new medication being injected into my body, not taking a pill, but actually being injected into the fatty tissue. And so I was nauseous, and but I had eaten as well. But that second week and week 3, no problems. And I just continued on making sure I had something in my belly. And I think the
Sure.
first week, I think it was just the reaction of the medication. And also I had taken a high dose of iron as well. So I think the interaction of the two for me.
Right. Um,
I didn't
I
think
know.
about I didn't think about eating anything before I take my injection. But you're right. A lot of people are nauseous when they take that injection. That might have been the thing that we needed to do. Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, that had never come up when I first started either. And, I know, I think it was Twan from Traces of Twan's Life. She mentioned she don't because she wants it to absorb quicker and more efficiently. But, again, everybody's different. So if you really get nauseous, it's worth eating first. It'll still work. It's just maybe a little differently. Um,
I'd be excited. That's why I take it first thing in the morning. I'd be excited to
absolutely.
take it. Lose some weight.
Yeah, buddy. Well, I don't know. My morning routine is just usually take a nap, in the shower, wait, then eat. What is it about showers that help you weigh a little less? I tell you. All right, here's another one. Did you have more of an appetite or energy change? And y'all kind of already answered some of this, but which one was more?
Neither really.
Really?
Yeah, like I didn't have a appetite. I had to make myself eat. Like I might be busy or whatever and doing whatever I'm doing. And remember, oh, you haven't eaten anything. You got to eat. So
Right. Wow. What about you, Kim?
Definitely energy change. I think Darium had pointed something out about, when you already have that low energy and then you're not eating enough, that's going to double down on that energy level. So you do have to make sure, I know for me, I'm starting to really recognize after 50 plus injections that I do have to make sure that I eat enough. So I think the energy level was probably more major for me.
What do you think, Candy K?
Well, that is something that I actually talked to my dietitian about. I met with my dietitian at the end of week 2, And I was asking her because I was forgetting to eat.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going like the whole day trying to, I knew I needed to eat, but I didn't have hunger or the desire to eat, right? So I was trying to wait to eat, trying to build up an appetite maybe. And my dietitian said, well, we need to get about 100 grams of protein based on my weight in a day. And so, with that in mind, I'm going to need you to be eating protein at every meal. And so, I'm kind of still adjusting to that and eating so that I can get the protein in, so that I can keep fiber as part of every meal as well, along with the protein. Yeah. It's a lot to it's a big change. It's a big change in my relationship with food. It just is.
Do you get nauseated just thinking about food? Just thinking about, oh, I don't want to eat that.
The flavor of food, the boss way, the flavor of food, things that I loved, right? My favorites, not so much anymore because like it tastes different.
Mm-hmm.
Have you all noticed that?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep. Definitely. And you start eating something you used to love before, and it's like 3 bites and you're done. I
I
Right.
mean,
don't.
Yes.
halfway
I
to the taste, and then just getting filled up so quick. Um, I did notice. Let's see. Yeah, Vivi did say, I'd rather not have food noise compared to suppression since being on it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't miss the food noise. And I hate it when it comes to Saturday, 2 days before my shot, I start getting a little bit. I'm like, oh, man, not again. So you have to be really strong there. For
Yeah.
me, of course, it was more the appetite that was more noticeable, that change. I mean, it didn't take long at all. Thank goodness.
But y'all have to tell me if it's food noise that I'm having, because, like I said, she got me on. She did let me go back to every week now, but she got me on 10 milligrams just because my blood pressure is very low,
Hmm.
and it gets lower. It's getting lower, and but it's like I want to eat something, have something in my mouth like every 2 hours. So I don't know if that's food noise or just my metabolism.
Here's something I need to know myself. I'm going to take advantage of this. And have any of y'all ever had heart palpitations?
No.
No.
yes.
Okay. Did you find out why that was, Ken?
Well, I gave myself the injection in my arm once, and I had heart palpitations, so I've never done that again. You know,
Interesting.
yeah, I don't know what it was, but yeah, I've never done that. And I'm with you also, the boss way. I'm on 12.5, been on it for a minute, and I do find myself hungry every couple of hours. Now, first I was attributing it to not eating meat because naturally you'll get hungrier, but yeah, I can eat through the suppression. That was another conversation, but I can definitely eat through the suppression. So
Hmm.
I mean, I get satisfied once I do find something to eat on, but it's just the fact that I want to eat something every 2 hours.
Right.
but I will say this, when you up that protein, I started out with about 57 grams of protein this morning, and that I can tell the significant difference. When you start with the heavy on that protein, that cuts back some of that hunger for me.
Okay.
Sure. So, Candy K, did you experience that heart palpitation?
I think I did. I think I did. I cannot reiterate how sick I felt on week one with that shot.
Yeah.
But I don't attribute it all to the Zepbound. I think it was Zepbound being new to my body, and you all have so talked about taking your vitamins and supplements and things like that. So I was trying to make sure I got in my supplemental iron. And I think, it was just the interaction of the med new to my body and then my heavy dose of iron as well. But yeah, I, what was your question? I'm sorry, I lost it.
The heart palpitations, if you ever experienced
Yeah,
that.
I do think I had some heart palpitations that first week, and I just kept monitoring my blood pressure, and I felt nauseous. I never had vomiting, but I just kept trying to eat my crackers to try to not feel nauseous.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
Did
Felicia Murray B kind of reiterated what Kendi K said here. Her first two shots gave her heart palpitations, and her
Mhm.
doctor said it was because of adjusting to the meds. I asked that because I've had it a few times, and my first time ended up being related to low potassium.
Mm.
Mm.
Um, I think it was at a time where I was having a lot of diarrhea and stuff, and I wasn't refueling my body with all that I needed, magnesium and potassium actually. And so I was getting that, and it happened the time around one of my quarterly appointments with the doctor, and it was showing low. So once I, you know, knew that and knew how to help that, and that went away at that point. Now, this last week, I'm experiencing it again, and this time it's because of low blood pressure.
Mm.
They My meds have had to be lowered, which is a good thing,
Yeah.
thankfully.
Yeah.
But they're still, I think we're going to still have to adjust them because I'm still at night feel like I'm just blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, my goodness. And I actually took a break from my blood pressure medicines over the weekend. Probably not a good idea, but it did stop. So I know that's the reason. So
Mm.
Wow. Wow.
um, I'm going to I have to get back on my little portal and talk to her.
Yeah. Grant, we had a comment from Christy.
Yes,
Christy says, I think this is a Christy that we all know, Christy
yes,
Campbell.
it is.
I Christy says, I feel like sugar-free extra gum helps when you feel like you need something to snack on. So maybe when the food noise starts to get louder, just having some sugar-free gum. And I remember Low Carb Queen says she's a gum chewer too.
Did she say something
Yeah,
about peppermints, low carb queen? Somebody said something about peppermints. Was that
I'm not
was
sure.
that you, low carb queen? Said something about peppermints.
Oh, she said in the chat, I chew gum all the time. Is Low Carb Queen still with us?
Hey, Kim, you still there?
Oh, it says I think she might
Hold on,
have.
hold on.
Oh,
Yeah,
there's.
yes, I'm still here. I'm sorry. I had to take. I was taking a phone call. I said I'm jumping the
Oh,
chat.
you're fine. You're fine.
Don't forget about Lala.
Yes, we are right at that time actually
Mm-hmm.
here. So, Hardreen, Low Carb Queen, Candy K, we appreciate all your input for sure this evening. And we're actually going to transition now to
Okay.
having a few more people up for the panel, um, including La La right here. Okay, La La, if you'll log back on for me here so we can add you to the stage. Doesn't look like. Here she comes. Here she comes. All right. There she. Hey, Lala, how you doing?
Hey, amazing. Amazing.
Good.
Yo.
All right. This is Lala. Does her fitness juicing segment here for about 5 to 7 minutes. If you want to take it away.
First of all, thank you so much kindly for having me. All of this is very new, and I am enjoying discovering the world of GLP-1. I just want to say, no matter what path somebody chooses in their health journey, the body still runs on the same foundations. That's nourishment, movement, hydration, and awareness. I am Lala, the High Vibe Coach, and that is what I promote on my channel, Holistic Wellness, where I help people reconnect with their body through these three pillars: nourishment. We should eat. We are engineered to eat. And I think a lot of us get trapped up in the F word. You may hear, for those of you that know me, you'll hear me talking about the F word and how I use it lightly, the word food. It is so abused nowadays. So I define food as non-products that aren't processed, like real plants. Eat more plants. That is nuts and seeds, beans and greens, roots and shoots, fruits and vegetables. And that way our body can learn how to connect with our satiety. That is when the body says, hey, I'm hungry, for real, not just for sugar, not for salt, and not for oil, or not for what we're programmed to believe, the sad American diet. Believe it or not, over 70% of the American diet is processed food. So people aren't eating real food. So I don't know if we've gotten steered off the path from what food really is. And I'm not understanding what you guys mean by food noise either. I asked that question. So if anybody could enlighten me on that. But
Well, that food noise is, basically that want to eat when you don't even need it.
mm-hmm.
Just out of habit over time, and you just get that urge to get that half gallon of ice cream, when you're not even hungry.
That's not food.
Uh, well, that
That's
is food. Well, it's not food. That's a
I,
bad example, but any craving.
well, yeah, that is my mission to help people recognize what food really is, so we get off of that. Um, just stop using that word so lightly. Food is nutrients, minerals, and vitamins, and there's no nutrients, minerals, and vitamins in potato chips and ice creams and all these snack foods. Everything that comes on the box with a plethora of ingredients is not food. And a lot of times when we think that we are hungry or craving those things, it is really our body out of homeostasis. It wants nutrients, it wants minerals, it wants vitamins. And that's why I promote plant powered. I don't even say I'm vegan anymore. I've been plant powered for 27 years now. And the difference between vegan and plant powered now is because everything is labeled vegan or low fat or low sugar or low carb or gluten free. It's just another scam. So my mission is just to bring awareness to what we identify what food is. Also movement, and also hydration. Drink your water, you know, and steer away from the soda, even if it's diet soda, the coffee, even if it's decaffeinated. I know Lala be like, oh, you can't have this, you can't have that. But there are so many things that we can have that are nourishing from our bodies that I think that we have been reprogrammed to believe from the new, like I said, the standard American diet. 70%, that's a lot. That's a lot of what people are eating that really isn't food. I'm on the channel Lala, the High Vibe Coach.
Was that you stepping off your soapbox? I love it. Hey, that was a good box to be on. Good advice.
Don't get the soap either.
Well, here's another good way to, since you asked about food noise, Darian said it's a persistent mental chatter about food, or food that's not really food, I guess, as you said. What to eat, when to eat, guilt, planning, when, where to eat, not actual physical hunger. So, um, thank you, Darian. That was a good way to put it.
Thank you.
Well, Lala, thank you for your spotlight there, and definitely remember to subscribe to her channel as well, Lala, the High Vibe Coach. All right, well, so we're going to transition to our second panel now. We got Gemini Diva, Crystal's World, and we're going to bring Candy K back up as well. All right. Right. Well, let me transition my mind here. And right quick, if everybody wants to introduce themselves, Gemini Diva, why don't you start?
Hello, everybody. I'm Gemini Diva, aka Trina. I was first on Ozempic, and then I got taken off Ozempic. Now I'm on Manjaro. I just graduated to 5. I was on 2.5 for 5 weeks. Now I'm on the 5. I was on 2.5 for 5 weeks. Now I'm on.
Awesome. You've been on several. Wow.
Yes.
That's awesome. All right. Well, Crystal's World, welcome. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. I am Crystal's World. Am I just saying who I am and just telling y'all about what I'm on?
Yeah, just introduce
Okay.
yourself, your channel name, and your milligrams you're on, and what medication.
Okay. My channel name is Crystal's World. So I started off on the 0.5. I'm on Wegovy. But I started my Wegovy journey last year, sometime maybe in June, July. And then I lost weight so fast that it scared me and I stopped taking it. But I am now back on Wegovy. So again, we're going to try this again. So that's my
Wow.
story. Yeah.
Great. Lost it so fast you were afraid you were sick or something, huh? I tell you.
No, I mean, I know I wasn't sick. It's just I never lost weight that fast before. So
I
my
see.
weight has always been up and down.
Sure.
All my life, always been up and down. But yeah, that's what happened.
Wow. And there is also Doses of Shawnee. I'm sorry I did not get you up there when I first got everybody up. Thank you for being here. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
This is my first time on StreamYard. So, well, I'm Shawnee, Doses of Shawnee, and I started my GLP-1 back last year in May, the end of May. To be exact, May 26th. Of course, you have to start at the starting dose, 2.5, which we know Miss Kendi K is on right now. So 2.5, and now I am almost 10 months. It's been almost 10 months in like 2 weeks, and I am up to 7.5. 7.5. Do you want to know how much I've lost so far? Or
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, okay. So far I've lost. I was supposed to do my update today, so we'll just give the weight from last Monday,
Okay.
so that y'all can come watch my video. Anyway,
Yeah,
okay, so
absolutely.
right, I learned that from Kendi K. Okay, so my last weight, I started at 290. That was my starting weight, and my last weight I was 198. 198. Yeah, somewhere around there. So over 90 pounds that I lost in like 9.5 months.
That is wonderful. Congratulations. Great. And we're still waiting for that cartwheel.
My knee just won't let me be good.
Hey, you don't hurt yourself. I'm just kidding you. Oh, I definitely won't be trying one. So
For those that don't know, I said when I hit Wonderland, I was going to do a cartwheel. And, they've been trying to hold me to it, and I'm going to do it.
well, you do it when you're ready. You don't let us push you. All right. Well, let's, of course, we've already met Kendi K and Lala, so we're going to go ahead and get to another question here.
Can I just say something though?
Yes, ma'am.
Congratulations, Shawnee, on that 90-pound weight loss. Oh my gosh. When I hear you all are so inspiring to me. When I hear you talk about, I've lost 120 pounds, I've lost 90 something pounds. Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever been able to lose. I don't know. I know I have never in my life lost 90 pounds of weight. And so this is amazing.
Yes, it is. Now, Crystal's World, I didn't ask you that, and I forgot. How much have you lost since the first time you started taking it?
The first time I was over 300 pounds. And when I got down to like 270, I got scared
Sure.
and I had stopped taking it, but I still kept the weight off. I didn't gain all the weight
Wow.
back. Yeah, I just gained a few pounds, but I didn't gain all the weight back
Good.
without, not taking it. So I did pretty good not taking it, I think.
Right. And
Yeah.
Gemini, how much total have you lost since you've been on your
I
first?
went from 325 down to 278. I just weighed myself like a couple days ago, and I was at 275.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. And Lala, that didn't come up with you either. How much, if you're willing to say, how much have you lost? You're muted.
I'm not on a weight. I'm not on a
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I misunderstood that. Okay. You're the juicing fitness. Okay. Gotcha. All right.
She's a vibe, can't you tell? Lala is our high vibe coach.
Yeah, there you
For
go.
joining us, Lala. I've done her America's high vibe coach. Who needs Richard Simmons? And we love us some Richard Simmons too. But we've got us.
Right.
Now, Lala, if you made a video like Richard did with Grooving to the 80s or whatever that was called,
I will watch it.
Y'all got to check her out on her fringe. You'll know why we call her the high vibe coach.
Oh, I'm on her channel a lot. I am.
I
Yeah.
love it.
All right. Thank y'all very much for those introductions. All right. So, Crystal's World, how did your doctor explain GLP-1 medications to you, if at all?
Yeah, it was actually offered by my doctor. I didn't ask.
Okay.
I went in there, saying I need to. I promise you, the Wegovy or any of that was not even on my mind at all. But I did go in there talking to her, about, I need to lose weight. Can you help me? Or can you give me something like, just let me know what what can I do? Can we get on, like, not on any medicine, but like, just talk about the different things that I can do, because it got to the point like, girl, you got to get this weight off, get some of this weight off. And it was offered to me because I am pre-diabetic. I'm pre-diabetic. I haven't got the full diabetes, and hopefully I won't get that far.
Sure.
But yeah, she offered it to me. I didn't ask, and she explained everything about it. And at first I said no. I was one of the ones that said no at first. And then I just thought about it, prayed about it, and I said, I'm gonna try it.
Good.
So here we are.
Here you are. Awesome. Well, what about you, Trina? How did your doctor explain the GLP-1s?
Similar to Crystal, I went there and she was like, "We got to do something about your weight," and I was like, "Okay." She was like, "Well, you got heart failure, you got diabetes. We just got to do something." And she just went down the list and she was like, "Well, what seems comfortable for you?" I was like, "Well, what would work better with my diabetes medicine and my heart failure?" And then that's when she said Ozempic. And I came home, I did research. I was like, okay, I'm gonna try it. And then at the beginning of the year, I was like, well, the Ozempic is not working. I was like, what else can we try? And she was like, well, we can try Manjaro. I was like, okay. And so far it's been okay.
Awesome. Good to hear. Well, how about you, Shawnee? How did they explain that medication to you, that doctor of yours?
Well, it's they didn't really explain the medication because I knew about the medication. As you know, I am a registered nurse, but they did, the way they offered it to me was that it's time to do something about your weight, just like with everybody else. I think maybe 3 years. Well, now it's been 10 months that I've almost 10 months. So it probably was 2 years prior. So almost 3 years ago when the medication was first ordered for me. And I was reluctant. I was like, Crystal, I said no initially. Um, and then I finally said yes. And then they ordered it. But I said yes still reluctantly. I really said yes just for them to stop asking me. And I really did not plan on probably taking it if I could just be honest. But I said, okay, just order it like that. But my insurance wouldn't pay for it. So they wouldn't pay for it. And I think the first thing they ordered for me, I can't even remember which one it was. I just know it was denied. And then maybe a year later, and they ordered it again because I was one. I think someone talked about earlier. I think it was Kendi K. How she lost, the same 10 pounds. Well, for me, mine was 30 to 50. I could lose 30 to 50 on my own. All, whether I was intermittent fasting, mostly it was usually due to intermittent fasting. And then there came a point where the doctor was like, you can't keep doing this yo-yo and it's not good, for your blood vessels.
Right.
And so, they offered me surgery. And so they told me when the medicine wasn't approved, they said, you should just do surgery anyway. And so it took a while for me to say yes. Long story short, I did all the workup for the surgery and got down to the last step, which was to do the psych eval, and I backed out. I just couldn't do it. And then fast forward, eventually I'd lost 50 again. And then when I went back to my cardiologist, I see a cardiologist because I have a history of blood clots. So I
Sure.
see every 6 months. And when I went back, I had gained I think it was 60 pounds in 6 months. And during that, I'm menopausal. I'm 3 years postmenopausal. So I think that had something to do with it as well. And nothing I did work. Nothing.
Yeah.
The intermittent fasting was not working. Just nothing was. I was so inflamed. I've done, I think I did a short, and you can kind of see, like, people like, oh, you were that big, like you look bigger than what you say you were, because it was swollen, because I was on steroids. I do have asthma. So just, it just nothing would work. So finally the doctor said, well, I can write you a prescription to Lilly. You want to pay for it? And at this point I was like, yeah, I'll just pay for it. So I pay for my medications, and I guess I just got to the point where it was like, I did not like what I saw and I did not like how I felt. There's a fine line from I'm just big and I think I'm cute, right? Then I'm big and I'm cute, but this ain't cute, if that makes sense. And so and so that's how I basically got the medication. But I already knew what it was. I've been doing research on it for years. And so I was like, let me just try it. And sorry, you guys, I'm a talker.
No, you're fine. You're
I'm a
fine.
preacher, so I can talk.
Well, bless your heart for having to pay for it out of pocket like that. I've been fortunate enough to, with the sounds funny. I've been fortunate enough to have diabetes. No, but I've been fortunate enough that Mounjaro is covered because of that. So, but I didn't really know about much of GLP-1s when I first started. I had been on metformin and knew I couldn't take that anymore because it just made me sicker than this shot ever did. And I was sick every time I ate. By the time I just finally said, forget this. So went to her and told her that. And she said, well, what about Mounjaro? I said, bring it on. She said, it's really good for diabetes and I think it'll do great in your case. Starting off at 11.3 A1C and now at 4.8. So that's a miracle in itself. Well, what about you, Kendi K? What did the doctor explain anything to you, or did you just say bring it on?
Well, I'm just telling my story, and my story is this, y'all. I intentionally made my doctor's appointment, couldn't wait to go, and asked for Zepbound by name because my friend is an RN like Shani, and said, "Hey, the one you want to ask for is Zepbound because apparently the research is showing that it is able to suppress the appetite, and those patients are having the biggest weight loss. So yeah, I absolutely made my appointment with my primary care doctor and asked for Zepbound. I needed help, and my father is no longer with us. He passed away, but he was a type 2 diabetic. My brother um, was a type 2 diabetic, but was able to lose his weight, and he did intermittent fasting and went into a heavy workout routine, etc. But I've always been challenged with weight loss, and it just did not come easy to me. And so when I heard about the GLP-1s, and yeah, so I wasn't, no, they didn't have to talk me into it. I asked for it.
Right.
And I will tell you too that I am also paying for my medication. We are trying to do a medical appeal at this moment, but I didn't want to wait any longer.
Sure.
Y'all know I did the sleep study and all of that, and turns out even I failed the sleep study because I only had mild sleep apnea, and you have to at least have moderate. It's a long story. Check out
Sure.
my channel. I tell
Yeah.
y'all. But I said, you know what? I was not going to let that deter me. I'm committed to lose this weight now for the last time.
I have sleep apnea as well, Kendi. I mean, you said you don't have moderate, but I had severe sleep apnea, and it's just not a part of the formulary for my insurance that my company has. So
Right.
it's so disappointing.
Yes, it is. Yes,
Yes.
it
So
is.
disappointing.
Before we
Yes.
move on, let's just say goodnight to Lala. We appreciate what she shared, and we will hopefully catch you tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Um, kind of going along with this tonight, Nancy Germain actually asked, I think she's asking all of us here, that she's curious how many of us struggled for a long time with weight. She was almost 12 pounds at birth and had a lifelong struggle. GLP-1s is the first thing that helped. So, uh, Crystal, how long have you dealt with weight problems that this finally helped?
My life. I'm an emotional eater, always have been.
Sure.
And life has ups and downs. So
Yes,
when I'm going through things, food makes
Yes.
me happy.
absolutely. And that's a lot of people right there, if not
Hmm.
all. I don't know if everybody admits it or not, but that's a lot of people. What
Wonderful.
about you, Shawnee? How long have you dealt with the weight?
Um, I have not. So I've not been obese. All my life.
Sure.
I don't know how much I weighed at birth. But what I can say is I know the hormone that tell you you're full. I've
Hmm.
always had that issue. Like I've never felt full. And so even as a kid, I overate. But because I was so active and the metabolism is working, I never was overweight. But I can remember being a young girl and my sister's like, you just greedy. I wouldn't share food. Like I can remember I could eat a whole pizza by myself. And then not until, like, I would gain weight when I had children, and then I could lose it. But probably I'm 51, y'all, and so probably it was after my third son, and he's 16. So after that is when I started having issues. So like early, um, so in my 30s, I can recall, it being harder. I swole up after I had him. Just I had a bad reaction to the Pitocin. And so after that is when I had my first time where I got on something medically. I took some phentermine, and I think I got down to like, because after him, I think I was like 180 or something like that, and I didn't consider that big at that time, right? And
Sure.
so after I had him, I was like 180, but then within a couple of weeks, I start just swelling, and I can remember getting up to like 220. And then I was like, this is crazy. So that's when I started the phentermine. And then I got down to like, I remember 203. And that's why I know I had not been really under 200 pounds for 16 years after I had him. So, like that's about when I started having the weight problems. But I do know that I have a hormonal um, issue. It just didn't show up like somebody else's, because maybe their metabolism, maybe they weren't as active as me, or you know what I'm saying? So we're
Mm,
all different. Our bodies are all different, and that's why it affects everybody differently because of the amount of receptors that you have, the amount of insulin receptors. I don't want to get too medical for you guys,
yeah,
but it affects everybody different, and that's why you can take the same dose. You have people that are on 15 milligrams, and they're still like, I know people, I'm not going to call out names on here, but and they say it on their channels, like, I've never felt full suppression like you, Shani. I've never had complete food noise, like, but everybody, it doesn't make, it just means I have more receptors at those that it's, they call a super responder.
sure.
Right. And so everybody's not gonna be there. Well, I kind of went left a little bit,
No,
but
you're fine.
since
You know, it's cool that your perspective as a nurse, though. We really appreciate that, no
Right.
doubt. The boss way actually answered as well. I have been struggling since 12. By 20, I was 257. I'd lose 20, but that was as far as she can get on her own. Wow. Well, what about you, Gemini? Have you been struggling with it for a while, or?
Yes, I haven't been in the 100s since like I was like 14.
Yeah,
So, and the majority of the women in my family are big. So, it's been there. So mine is like hereditary and some more stuff.
yes.
And
Same.
I really blew up after my third child, and he's 21. So yeah, it's been a long, long, long battle.
I just can't believe you have a 21-year-old. Wow. You don't look like you would.
Well,
That's
I
amazing.
almost got a 30-year-old. Molders is only 28.
Oh, wow.
And I
Wow.
don't even look like it.
It's
No,
something about the third child. My third kid
right.
is after my third kid. I'm 45, y'all. I have a 5-year-old. So after my third kid is when I got to my biggest weight.
yeah,
My heaviest all my life.
yeah. Um, what about you, Candy K?
Well, I was always a little thickums. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, I was cute as all get out, but I was overweight. When I started kindergarten, I remember having to go into the nurse's office. Y'all, in kindergarten, I will never forget this. All the kindergartners went into the nurse's office. We sat on the floor and they called us up one by one to do our height and weight. And I remember feeling embarrassed with my weight. I don't remember what the number was, but I knew then that I was overweight. And I've taken phentermine, and I had to take phentermine before. That's a pill for weight loss, because the doctor, I had to have a total knee replacement. Why? Because too much weight. So I had to have a total knee replacement in order for me to be medically able. There is a weight limit on artificial knees,
Really?
and that knee can collapse on you if you are too heavy. So the doctor, the surgeon would only do that surgery. He said, I need you to lose 50 pounds. And so I went on phentermine. Um, and was able to shed those pounds. But y'all, I had to take very drastic measures to do that, and then I gained over half of that weight back, of those 50 pounds back. And so again, Zepbound has been a life changer, and I'm just in my third week, and I can already see that it is helping me in ways that I've never known before.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I didn't struggle with weight as much until I started high school. And I think it was just, well, probably towards the end of high school and my freshman 15 in college. It's more like it. And then things just kind of went downhill from there. Ended up with a job that was stressful in the last 10 years, and I really ballooned up then. So I was thankful to get from 300 to 225 now. Oof, so much better. All right. We got time for another question here if y'all are willing. Um, I was looking back here in the chat that one I meant to do earlier and I forgot. Hold on 1 second. I think I remember it if I can't find it though, because there's a lot of chat and I appreciate all this tonight, guys. I really do. Appreciate all the support. All right. Non-scale victories. For those of y'all that are at that point, what's been some non-scale victories for you, Shawnee?
The biggest for me is being able to work out.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I was very active as a kid. Very active, even though I was always hungry. And now that I'm thinking about it, it could have been because I did have asthma and I was always on some kind of medication. And steroids make you hungry. And I was in and out the hospital as a kid with asthma. But I love to work out. And at some point, as we've talked about life, and I just, started having health issues, more than asthma. I said, I don't know if I told you guys, but I had blood clots in my lungs, and I could not work out. Had a torn meniscus, and I still need surgery for, but I just keep rehabbing it. And I tell you, I started working out maybe 2 weeks prior to starting the medication, because the doctors were like, I don't care if you can't move your leg, you can move your arm. You need to lift some weights, you need to do something. Go to the gym and just, start something. So I started doing that, prior to, like, just 2 weeks prior to starting the medication. But each week I was able to do more and more. And I just have so much joy. Like, that's because I'm a boy mom, so we're very active over here, and I couldn't do anything. My sons are not used to that. I have a 29, 27, and 16-year-old. Those other two are not. The other two, they've only seen, as they were growing up, they've seen me healthy and, and very active. And so just to see the joy and have them say, Mom, come go for a run. I'm like, I can't run with you, but I can walk while you run.
Yeah.
I mean, it just does my heart so good. We're downstairs doing push-ups together, because I can do real push-ups now. So that's my biggest non-scale victory, is being able to do what I love to do, and that's work out. I'm a gym rat.
Awesome. What about you, Crystal?
It's definitely more energy. Wanting to get up and do things now. The
Sure.
energy level. And I'm gonna be honest. The first time, my first go around, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I barely worked out, and the weight was still coming off like crazy. The first time. So this time, I'm doing better with the. I'll at least be walking. I take my walks now. So
Great. I I shared one of my biggest non-scale victories to me was being able to get on roller coasters again without that feeling of, all right, I'm going to try this. I hope they don't knock me back off, because that happened a few times and it's embarrassing as heck, but I just took it in stride, or tried to, and moved on. But now that's not an issue. So that's one of my most favorite non-scale victories. How about you, Trina?
I did a 3-hour walking tour of New Orleans
Oh wow, 3
without
hours.
stopping.
Yeah.
That was back in May when I was still on Ozempic. But now, since I'm on Manjaro, I feel like I can just get up and walk. I can
That's
get up and
awesome.
go. Like I walked my mall like twice in one day. And normally I would stop, but no, I didn't. So
Right.
and my t-shirts are getting too big. I done had this same t-shirt for like a couple weeks and it's too big now.
Wow. 3 hour walk. That's a long time. That's awesome.
Yes.
All right.
Need to bum me for
Welcome in, JC Calamity Jane. We appreciate you coming, still coming after your appointment. We're on the question, what is one of your favorite non-scale victories?
Well, I did a post of mine. I can, and this matters to no one other than me and maybe other people. I can crawl through my, my gate without instead of having to walk around, because we have our apartment shop. There's a gate that we keep locked in front of it. And so typically, my husband will just ease in between the horizontal wooden posts. And here I am always, looks like, have fun with that, dear. And then I'm sitting here walking around either side to get to where the stairs are. And yeah, I can do that. I was halfway tempted because I tested it, but I was like, just because it worked on the test doesn't mean it will work if I were to record it. I did it to where that I could jump the red gate, not like free jump it, but like, jump on the one of the bars and then come over. So yeah, so I think I shared maybe 2 or 3 months ago, that my level of fitness, meaning I can trust my body to do things when I'm out and about. It's reaching that level of trusting, if I need to go down a hill or go down whatever. I'm not saying I'm going to be successful, but I trust my body to do it.
Right. So. That's awesome. And before we move on, just a quick introduction of yourself, since you weren't here for that part, Jen.
Sure. Just Calamity Jane at JC _ Calamity _ Jane. I started GLP-1 July of 2025. I think I should. I'm also a type 1 diabetic for over 30 years, and I have to put the disclaimer: neither medication is FDA approved for type 1 diabetes. However, I'm able to get it because of my body habitus or the BMI. And so that's why I've been able to be on Zepbound for that length of time.
Great.
So,
great. Well, we appreciate you.
Hey, Jen.
All right. And thank you, Crystal's World, for joining us tonight. She said she had to step out for a 9:30 appointment. So thank you so much for your input tonight. We appreciate it. All right. Well, I'm going to kind of ask y'all what I asked the others earlier, maybe a few different ones. After you got on after you got on GLP-1s, did you have sweet or salty cravings? Either one or both, or?
I still have salty cravings, but but even before I had salty, like I have sweets. Like if there's a certain type of sweet in front of me, I'm going to eat it. Sure. Even now, I think there was a discussion about, because I was able to take a little break. There was a discussion about ice cream. There's some Bluebell ooey gooey ice cream in my freezer, and if I want to take a spoonful of it, I'm going to. Right. But on a day-to-day basis, I would say salty remains my my choice of those two. Sure.
What about you, Shani?
Salty would be my choice. I don't have cravings though. I've just been very fortunate. I do eat chips. I'll eat potato chips. Y'all, if y'all know me, and Jen knows I like Doritos. So if I do eat something, it will be some chips, but it's just so different because I can count out the serving size. I count out 14 and put them in a Ziploc bag, and that's what I eat instead of coming up in my room with the whole bag and hiding it from the kids and eating the whole eating the whole bag. So I haven't been a big sweets person even prior to GLP-1. So it's just, yeah, I don't give credit for, I just don't eat that many sweets. But when I have eaten it, I've gotten sick when I'm on the GLP-1. I'm one of those that it affects me. Um, like I say, I haven't had nausea. I don't have any of those things, but I don't know if it's because it just doesn't affect me that way or if it's because I really eat clean.
Sure.
Okay.
I don't,
Well, how about you, Tree?
I'm not a salty person. With my heart issues, I eliminate all kind of salts even before the GLP ones. I'm more of a sweet person. I can go in there and bake something real quick and eat it. I'm a baker, so but I'm trying to find ways to bake with no sugars. So
Well, good for you. Good.
I'm trying to,
Well,
but it
I
doesn't
think
work.
Low Carb Queen answered our question. How do you spell Haagen Dazs?
Just like that.
Just like that.
Mhm.
And Grant, can I share something that it kind of dawned on me when Shawnee said the thing about, she's able to put the count out her 14 chips and eat those and is satisfied. I feel like on the like Shawnee, you saying that just hit me with a revelation. Like, so when I did Weight Watchers, I was single back then, so it was just, I made the decisions about what came into the house, but the first
Sure.
thing I did was separate that bag
Right.
into, and he gave you all the point stickers, and so I knew on the counter I kept 0 to 2 point foods on the counter, and then everything in the fridge had it had its number on value on it, and then the chips had its number value on it. And what
Sure.
I would say with the GLP-1, I'm not saying don't keep separating your food out, but
Right.
it's become that bag for me, that separating, like I'm able to stop at like chip 10 now, you know what I mean? So it's
Not
just,
chip bag.
right. I don't need the baggie. I don't need the baggie anymore to to
Right.
stop me. So, but yeah, when you said that, Shawnee, it just kind of dawned on me. It's like, yeah, I don't have to do that anymore. So it's kind of nice.
And I find myself buying the lunch bags
Yes.
of chips. So I'll eat that. I'll eat those instead of the big, huge party size bags of chips.
Mm-hmm.
and I think for me is I have like why I separate them. Why I separate it because I'm packing my bag,
Right. I understand. Yeah.
right? And so I live in a house with boys, and so we
Right.
don't buy nothing small. We go big or go home over here.
Right.
And
You have to
so
put notes
I
everywhere.
got big 6'3" boys, and so they we buy big bags of chips, so we don't have the little bags of chips in the house. And I'm not gonna buy separate for me to have that. I just put it in the in the Ziploc bag, and so
Sure.
I don't think I necessarily have to, but I think that's just kind of, you know what I'm saying. That's what I do. Prior though, I even went on Weight Watchers, because I've done Weight Watchers too. When I was on Weight Watchers and we did, separate them out, it was a mental struggle. Like it was really hard. I did it, but it was a fight, and that's why I love this medication because it's not a fight. It,
Yes.
it doesn't. I mean, I don't, that's why I don't care what anybody says. I don't, y'all want to keep being over there struggling and doing what you're doing. I'm okay because I've fought it for so many years, and it's just, it's just so much less stress to not
Yeah.
have to worry about that.
Right.
Well, I have to be honest. I still have both cravings, so I still have a craving for frosty with a French fry in it. I mean, or more than one French fry, but thankfully not as much as it used to be. Moderation, moderation.
So that's great. So is it? And I know we're using the word craving. You know, we maybe use it like, is it a craving or like it's still something you want occasionally?
It's still something I want occasionally. Yeah.
And I think that's a little bit different, you know.
Right, you're right.
I don't. Again, this for me, this is life, and we don't. I don't want to get away from your questions. For me, this is the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
And if, you know, I'm one of those people. When I travel, you better believe I'm gonna. You know, if I get a trip to Italy soon or whatever, you better believe I'm having a gelato. You better believe I'm having a crepe with some limoncello on it. You know, am I eating it every meal? No, because that's not how they eat over there.
Right.
And so, you know, I think that's the difference. Is food is, you know, it's okay. We wouldn't have these things to satiate the taste buds and stuff like that if we weren't meant to have that experience and joy out of it. So I'm sorry to get on a diatribe.
There's a difference between. So I'm sorry, Grant.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
There's a difference, like Jane. I want to use your name here, but between I have a taste for something and a craving, like you said, and I think we do. You know, there's a play on words sometimes, and we have to realize that just because I have a taste for something, it's a different than the food noise.
Yeah.
You know, of it all, where like,
I would agree.
Yeah. And so you might just have a taste for something, like I do. I have a taste for a chip, you know, every now and then, but I don't relate that to when you ask the question about cravings, because I think of cravings as associated with my food noise.
I see.
Like I constantly
That's a good point.
would think about it, but just having hunger, just I've heard people relate, you know, like being hungry to food noise. You know, they describe them the same, and it's totally different.
Right. Well, Darian, as usual, summarizes this very well. I believe in moderation over deprivation. So I like that.
Right.
And, you know, like the boss way says, last time she deprived herself, she gained all her weight back. So, yeah, it's not worth getting to that point. Well, Candy K, if you'll come back on the backstage here for me right quick, I wanted to just kind of close out with everybody here. Still got Low Carb Queen here. And of course, Crystal's World and Vicky had to go off, but wanted to kind of just wrap things up here. It's been a really good session for sure. I really appreciate everybody's input. Of course, we have at Gemini Diva, excuse me, Doses of Shawnee, the Bossway, JC Calamity Jane, and myself, Grant's Faithful GLP-1 Journey. And I was going to try to get Candy K back up here, but here she comes. There she is, right on the bottom there. I feel like we're on Brady Bunch.
It does.
Here's the story.
I'm a man named Brady.
We got Alice in the middle. But anyhow, Candy K, was there any closing words you'd like to say?
Yeah. I hope I'm not. This is cute. I'm just
Did I catch you off guard? I'm sorry.
Thank you to the panel. Thank you all. I'm so happy to be doing my weight loss journey with everyone.
Yes. Yes, and we appreciate you starting this series, and we look forward to the next one next week. The information on that will be forthcoming in the next days or so. But in the meantime, we appreciate everybody coming and for your support, and everybody have a good Monday evening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Grant. G Money.
Thank you.
Thanks, Candy K. Bye, you guys. Bye, Gemini.